booking's been confirmed, so I'm definitely going to Los Angeles now. Really happy about that because, yeah, I was worried that it might not happen. And anyway, it is going to happen, and I'm going in less than, yeah, in less than 2 weeks now. Woo! Um, and yeah, I have been looking at dormitories already, and most of them seem to be like £30 a night, which is kind of annoying because most places around Europe you can for £30 a night you'll get a decent room, whereas in Los Angeles you would be lucky to get a room shared for six. But I think it's a really good idea to be sharing with people because you can meet people and I don't know, hopefully there'll be more interesting people than the people that I'm meeting during, well, massage or whatever. That's the only people that I meet. Could have gone on a date today, but yeah, the guy was scared of the thought of me having power in any kind of way. So I think it's probably best that I'm not going with him. Plus, if I go out, I'm just going to be listening to music and it's just going to be triggering memories or stuff. You know, there's some good songs and there's some also bad ones. Um, Kind of also thinking a little bit about Beyonce and a plan that could help like rise her and stuff. Like when I first found out what I believed, I had this like just loads of thoughts, loads and loads of thoughts were going in my head, and I was trying to figure out what's the most likely. And you know, when I saw Aaliyah and listened to that song, you know, she's the next me was what came into me and or my head, and then I was like, she's me, not the next me. She's the past me. But yeah, you know, there might be a lot of people that aren't happy with the idea of me being a Christ figure or whatever. And they might just think that I'm like the Christ figure of the old age and I've messed up or something, like Earth's so shit and I've done everything wrong here. And so that would, you know, that could be an idea for how Beyonce might sort of take on, like, because I think people would know that she's nothing like me. But if it's sort of like led that maybe she's kind of represents like the next the next stage of God or a better God even, or you know, something that's better than me and is creating a whole new world somewhere else and you just have to go with her or whatever. Like I don't even know how involved she as a person wants to get in. You know, I've noticed on her Instagram it doesn't actually have a face. But there's quite a few that don't have a face. Justin Bieber doesn't have a face, um, and I don't think Rihanna has a face either. Like she had a cartoon for ages. So it's almost like the people that are most on the dark side don't even want to kind of be involved themselves in it, maybe. Um, but yeah, I I I don't know. I just think that she advertised Dior or whatever, you know, Dior, it says Dior. Okay, it's good and bad and everything. And okay, if the bad would be thinking, oh my gosh, it's like talking about the company and saying that the company must die. The good could be like dying colors in the world, or you know, the other good could be like, you know, die or something really bad will happen to the planet and stuff because there's too many people here messing it up. But yeah, I don't really know how she'll grow, but um, you know, I think a lot of people might not be. There'll be a lot of people that won't be happy with the idea of me being, you know, there'll be a lot of people who will turn against me and just be like, oh no, you're, you know, the old or whatever, put me down. There'll be a lot of people that will be happy to put me down. And I think it's because I come off as being like quite a weak person because of my character or the fact that I mess up my words or the fact that I'm not very confident or the fact that if people say things, you know, I would question a lot of things and questioning things might feel like I'm not so certain in my own head, you know, if I myself can be convinced that maybe there's another option or another possibility about me not, you know, when I was first woke up to believe I was Christ, it was like, no, 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 well, maybe this is not, maybe this is not. And I feel like if people see me as someone who thinks about different possibilities, um, you know, that they would see that as a sign of weakness rather than a sign of intelligence, as into, you know, I want to analyze things and get the right facts and stuff. Whereas a lot of people wouldn't see um, analyzing stuff as a strength; they would see it as a weakness. But yeah, I am. You know, if people see Beyonce as, you know, like a representation or not necessarily her as a person, but something, Sasha Fierce, this character that she developed, if people see that, so the first stage will be getting rid of all the Christians, although I need to say that in a different video, but yeah, so there's all the Christians that will follow Jesus and be like, oh, I'm looking for Jesus, and that one will strike when Babylon the Great comes on the scene and being like, I'm God. And a lot of the thing is, though, it might not even be me. That's also another possibility. This Babylon character, I mean, as another possibility, it could just be someone else who's maybe blonde or whatever, and she takes on the role of of Babylon. The thing is, though, people need to be convinced that this Antichrist has power, and I think if anyone else comes on the scene, getting the world to believe that they have power. I mean, okay, you can have the celebrities just be like, oh yeah, she's Babylon, and just point it to someone else. Just that's a possibility. I don't really know that there is options, but I don't know if that one would work. I feel like for Christians to believe that this is, the trumpets have been blown and Jesus is on the waiting on the other side, and then you just need to take that. How what would cause that to happen? And I think definitely me being exposed would definitely work. Why? Because I am quite different to most people, and I do think and speak and talk differently, and there is a lot of power behind what I say, and I think people would be scared of that if they knew or saw this side of me. Um, but yeah, another possibility is that someone else could take the place of this Babylon person, but I just don't think it would be as believable because they won't have as much power that I have. So I don't know what the plan is. I really don't. I'm open to possibilities. I don't know. But yeah, I think the rise of Beyonce would just be um, when people start looking for something else that's not Jesus and not me either, but still they want something bigger and better, something that can give them a whole new world or a whole new paradise. And there's a lot of people that have do think that Jesus, they don't believe in Jesus, or they do, but they want more, and they want this, even if it's a female goddess, a female goddess that can take them to create a new foundation. In that song that Beyonce came up with, a whole foundation, a whole new foundation in a completely different world, and seeing me as someone who's just entrapping them into earth. But yeah, I don't know. These are just random thoughts. But yeah.